Through the past several updates to GTA Online, many different vehicles have had the Imani Tech Missile Lock-On Jammer added as an available upgrade. However, there are cars that function significantly better with this upgrade than others. So in today's video, we're going to be going over the best ones that combine performance, protection, and price to give you the best of both worlds. Leave a like on the video if you find this useful, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's go ahead and get started. To begin the list, we're going to talk about the Imani Death, which is a free Imani Tech capable vehicle in GTA Online. This thing can take up to 9 homing missiles or up to 3 RPGs with a top speed of 114.5 miles per hour. Now, it has good protection from bullets and pretty strong armor, however it doesn't have great handling or general performance. The car is also rear-wheel drive, but it's a free vehicle, so it is a massive bonus to have this thing if you are on a budget. And with that Imani Tech Missile Lock-On Jammer, it does make this a pretty formidable opponent for a lot of enemies that you'll encounter in GTA Online. Up next, we have the Debauchee Champion for $2,812,500 to $3,750,000. Now, this thing is pretty overpriced, and honestly, I've recommended against buying the Debauchee Champion a good amount of times, and for that exact reason. The price is crazy, especially compared to some other vehicles. However, in terms of an Imani Tech vehicle, it is still pretty good. This one can take up to 12 homing missiles, up to 4 RPGs. It's also rear-wheel drive and has a top speed of 125 miles per hour, with good handling, and it also features bullet-resistant windows and front-mounted machine guns, which honestly save it and got it onto this list in the first place. Now, like I said, it gets outperformed for less money by cars ahead of it on this list. However, it does have some features that most Imani Tech vehicles don't, i.e. the bullet-resistant windows and those front-mounted MGs. Next up at number 8, we have the Benefactor Shafter V12 Armored for $325,000, easily the cheapest vehicle on the list other than the free ones. Now, there is a bit of a caveat with this. You're only going to be able to take 2 homing missiles or 2 RPGs, but it does have bullet-resistant glass and a 125 mile per hour top speed. And it's a rear-wheel drive car. Now, it's not as durable as some of the other cars on this list, however, considering how cheap the vehicle is, this could be a good option for some players, and of course, it can seat up to 4 people. Up next at number 7, we have the Benefactor Terabyte for $1,375,000 for the base price. This thing is a crazy armored vehicle. It can take up to 34 homing missiles or 34 RPGs, with a top speed of 87.5 miles per hour. Now, this isn't a vehicle I would buy specifically for getting around quickly while also protecting yourself. However, it is technically the most armored Imani Tech vehicle in GTA Online. It also comes as standard with bullet-resistant windows, which is really cool. Now, you can of course upgrade the Oppressor Mark II in here, but owning this thing will require you to have a garment factory or a nightclub to store it inside of. However, if you want protection in GTA Online, there's not really a better vehicle than the Benefactor Terabyte as it stands currently. Next up at number 6, we have the Enos Paragon S for $2,010,000. This one can take up to 12 homing missiles or 4 RPGs with a top speed of 127.5 miles per hour. This thing has armor plating upgrades, all-wheel drive, it features 2 seats, and has good overall performance across the board, maybe even great performance. It also looks good, and the customization available for it is pretty good as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't feature bullet-resistant windows or front-mounted machine guns, but the performance of this one makes it a little bit better and takes it a little bit higher on the list than some of the other vehicles. At number 5, we have the Canis Terminus for $1,877,500. This one, again, can take up to 12 homing missiles or 4 RPGs. This one, though, features a top speed of 119 miles per hour, and it is in the off-road category. It has all-wheel drive, and it is one of the best off-road class vehicles in the entire game. It can seat up to 4 players, and there's also a police variant available as well, with a slightly higher 0.5 mile per hour top speed advantage, and all of the same features otherwise. However, that one will cost you $5,125,000, if you don't have the trade price. Up next though, we have the Ocelot Virtue, which is a free vehicle, or you can purchase it for $2,235,000 or $2,980,000 if you don't have the trade price. However, the trade price is unlocked by doing the same thing that you need to do to get it for free, so you should be able to get at least one copy of this car for free, and that's by completing the first and last dose missions with Dax, the same ones that you need to do to get the acid lab. Now, because this is an electric vehicle, it can take up to 12 homing missiles, but it can also take up to 12 RPGs. It's because of the electric vehicles in GTA, I don't know why, but for some reason they can take way more RPGs. However, the extra protection does come at a bit of a cost because it's an EV. The top speed is only 119.5 miles per hour. It also doesn't have the best handling, but it does feature all-wheel drive, and it can seat up to 2 players. Customization wise, I think it's pretty good too. I think it's a really good looking car in general, but it's just not exactly the best performance wise, but protection wise, it is great. Following this, we have the Grotti Stinger TT for $2,380,000 plus $1,418,000 for the optional HSW upgrade. That's going to take the top speed from about 130 miles per hour all the way up to 168.5 miles per hour for the top speed. Now it can take 12 homing missiles or 4 RPGs, and it can only seat 2 players. However, it does come with a caveat as well, and that is going to come in the form of pretty bad handling, and the car is rear-wheel drive as well. So off the line, it's going to be a really slow launch with this one, and then going around corners at speed is going to be somewhat of a treacherous experience for you. It does have some nice customization, and it is a decent looking car though as well, so it does have that going for it, I suppose. Up next, we have the Bravado Buffalo STX, a fan favorite by far. This one goes for $1,612,500 if you have the trade price, or $2,150,000 if you do not have the trade price. This one has the capability to take up to 12 homing missiles or 4 RPGs, with a top speed of 126 miles per hour. It seats up to 4 players, it is rear-wheel drive, and it has bullet-resistant glass with front-mounted machine guns. It's also got really good handling and a very good general performance overall. Plus, it's in the muscle category, so it can wheelie, and that can be helpful for getting over obstacles and things that you otherwise could not get over. This is the car that I was talking about earlier when I said that there's going to be something coming up ahead that's way better than the Dubocci Champion, and these actually came out in the exact same update, except the STX outperforms the Champion even on circuits, which is crazy because the Champion is a supercar and this is just a muscle car. Kind of insane if you ask me, especially given the price difference as well. For a honorable mention, a new vehicle that has gained the Imani Tech Missile Lock-on Jammer, we have the Rune Zaba for $1,425,000 to $1,900,000. Now this vehicle just got the Missile Lock-on Jammer with the most recent update with the Court Center Heist DLC, and this is the second best protected Imani Tech vehicle in the game, taking up to 14 homing missiles or 14 RPGs. However, it is extremely slow, topping out at just 62.25 miles per hour, and it also has an extremely short wheelbase, which can be very hard to control at times, and especially if you're taking explosives, this thing is going to be very hard to steer. However, something that is really unique about it is that it is an amphibious vehicle, meaning that it can traverse on land or in the water, and it also does feature all-wheel drive and can seat up to 4 players with bullet-resistant glass as well. So it is a very good tanky vehicle. You're just not going to do much other than sitting there inside your well-armored vehicle. It's not going to escape from anybody at 62 miles an hour, unfortunately. But at number 1, the same as the last time I made the list, I honestly can't come up with a better car than the Bravado Buffalo EVX. For $2,140,000 for the base price, plus an additional $1,415,000, you can have an HSW upgrade. And because this thing is an EV, it can take 12 homing missiles or 12 RPGs. But because of the HSW upgrade, it has a top speed of 144.75 miles per hour. It can seat up to 2 players and has a better overall package in terms of speed and handling, as well as protection, than any other Imani Tech capable vehicle in the game. It also gets a wheelie from being in the muscle car category, and it comes as a rear-wheel drive vehicle. Although despite being rear-wheel drive, it does launch like it has all-wheel drive, due to it being an electric car. I know it's not necessarily a popular take to have an electric muscle car at number 1, but I truly feel like this is the best Imani Tech vehicle in the game in terms of performance, protection, and value for your money. This truly is a great car, and it is my number 1 recommendation if you want to protect yourself while also being able to get around pretty quickly in GTA Online. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you guys are new if you want to see more stuff like this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.